Alguetti, one of the Alguetti brothers. Very happy, Sharon, to have you here with our interview series, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, to introduce you right off the hop is one of the Alguetti brothers, because anybody around table tennis knows that when one Algetti's around, there's probably more than one as well. You guys do seem to run in a pack, and you run very well.
Yeah, it's hard to miss us. I mean, if you go to a tournament, you can probably hear us from outside the venue, but that's the spirit we bring into the tournament. So
Well, that's one of the great things about the Alguetti brothers, and particularly you, Sharon, that I really enjoy watching. Come from a different sport, but still, I obviously enjoy watching table tennis and the passion that you and your brothers play with, and the emotion and the willingness, I think, to kind of show that emotion as you play is a big part of your game.
yeah, I mean, we always have our backs. If one of us is playing, the other two are playing from outside the court. You know, they're cheering, they're supporting, motivating whenever we're down. And like in our family, it's always when one of us wins, it's like everyone wins. We practice together, we prepare for tournaments together. So if one of us has a good win, a good success, then it's like the whole family succeeded. So we are a pack, as you said, and if one of us falls, it's all of us fall down. So
I love it because it's not only you, your brother Adar, and your twin brother Gal, but it's also your mom and dad. They
yeah,
are right there with you, battling every step of the way, and I absolutely love it because regardless, good, bad, or ugly, you guys always stick together.
yeah, and to not to mention, I couldn't have done it without their support. I mean, people say, how can all three of the kids be over 2,500? There was a point where all of us over 2,600, and that's just one thing that because all of us have so much passion for the sport, and our parents also, they drive us to practices 40 minutes each way and back. Now that we can drive, we drive ourselves, but they dedicated a lot of their life to doing what we do, and putting all the efforts into practices. And I would say that without them, without all five of us being the Alguetti team members, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Well, you mentioned that all three of the brothers, and certainly you, have tremendous quality of play. I've got your rating right now somewhere over 2,600. You've been as high as 2,704 at one point. It's pretty impressive. You and your brother ended up winning the 2017 U.S. Men's Nationals Doubles Championship. So you guys have won some big titles. You've been a member of the cadet national team. You've been a member of the adult national team. It's pretty, and I'm looking in the background here, I'm seeing all these trophies. So it's been a pretty impressive run for all of you, and particularly for you, Sharon.
Yeah, I have reached 2,700 before. In a tournament in LA Open, I dropped from that 2,700 because I lost to one of my brothers. Matter of fact, I lost to both of my brothers in that tournament. Um, we know each other's games so well, so we tend to lose to each other in practice matches, tournaments. We play so many practice matches. I know what serves they're gonna do before they even, approach to serve. Um, but we push ourselves a lot. All the titles you said. Being a national team member, it doesn't come easy, and it doesn't come easy, especially if you're one person alone. And I have to mention that all of us, not just me, we have been on the national team and are currently on the national team, and it would be hard for me to do it by myself.
Well, it's interesting because we always look at the wins and we're happy about them, but I think the players oftentimes remember the losses, and that's
Yeah,
one thing I've seen from the Algettis as well. Is that a loss is not it's a momentary of devastation. I know the feeling of when you want to win something and it doesn't quite come to pass. But by the same token, what I've seen out of you and your brothers is that a loss is actually a springboard. That you guys do not seem to be devastated and destroyed by the loss. Much to the contrary, you all three of you, in particular you, Sharon, have had the capacity to kind of learn from the losses
yeah.
and better from the losses.
I mean, yeah, I take losses as kind of a wake-up call, that I have to get back on the same routine that I practice. If I prepared for a tournament and did end up losing a bad loss, I know I did something wrong in the preparations. I specifically think that everything can be fixed and improved, especially after a loss. it's easy to say I'm the best by winning everything, but when you lose, it's hard to bounce back from it. When you're number one seed in a tournament and everyone expects you to win, that's when you have the most pressure of winning. When you're the underdog and you have no pressure to win and you're playing someone that technically you're supposed to lose to and you upset him, yeah, congrats to you, but let's you beat a player or all the players in the tournament when you're the top seed. That's what I think the struggle, especially in table tennis, tournaments and world.
Well, it's interesting. I know I had the opportunity in Santa Monica recently to watch you and your brothers in the Olympic trials. I thought all three of you played really well, and it may not have turned out exactly as you had wanted in the trials. And I'm going to imagine that all of you are, of course, are very young. I mean, you're 18 now.
Yeah.
You'll be 19 shortly, and I think your older brother's, he's just 20. He'll be 21 this year. So you're extremely young. I'm imagining that experience in Santa Monica at the Olympic trials is something you're going to take forward and, seek to become a member of the U.S. Olympic team when we get to 2024 in Paris.
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, of course, I wanted to get better. It's in my blood. I always push myself to do better. There was a goal to make the top two. I didn't reach the goal, but my performance was good. I'm proud of it. I finished in fifth. And a matter of fact, all three of us made the top 16, which is for us as a family, all three of us being there is a great achievement for our family as a whole. I know I am almost 19, so that means I finished my first year in college, gonna finish this year in Indiana University. And I knew coming into the tournament, into the trials, that there are gonna be players that practice maybe more than double what I practice preparing for this tournament. In college, I practice in a racquetball room with Gal and no other players other than Gal. There's nobody there. But the expectations for me were not as high as maybe for other players because I know my practice, I'm doing whatever I can. Yeah, I wanted to do more, but with what I have right now, I'm happy with finishing fifth in the trials. And I would say that even most players in the US kind of quit when they go into college, but one thing that we are not planning to do is quitting. We played so many tournaments in the Midwest. Because we're so close, we're in Indiana, it's right in the center of the Midwest. So we go to Chicago, go to Ohio, we play everything. We just have so much fun. My brother and I, we take road trips. So we're not quitting the sport like many players have done before. And, if people expect us to slow down, we're not slowing down. We're staying where we are.
Yeah, I don't think quit is a word that is associated with the Alguetti brothers.
No.
Former fashion. You talk about going to Indiana University right now. I know that you came back east. You went back to the East Coast to New Jersey, to your family's home for spring break, and unfortunately, spring break has turned into shelter in place basically on the East Coast where you are right now. I know that it's important, obviously, that everybody do what's in the best interest of everyone health-wise, but it's got to be a little bit frustrating right now to be locked inside and knowing your training schedule and your regimen. That it's got to be hard to kind of be thrown off that for a moment or two.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in quarantine since March 13 myself. I mean, I know I might, be able to go out and maybe nothing critical would happen to me, but I want to put my family in harm, be that guy that brings it into the house. I've been changing my practice routine a lot. I mean, I miss my racket. I miss, dealing with table tennis balls all the time. But there are things that I do. I do a lot of core exercising so I don't get injured when I get back on the table. And since there's so many days and it doesn't look like it's gonna stop so fast, so I've started a goal to run half marathon. I don't know
Awesome.
how fast I can reach that goal, but yesterday I ran 10 miles already, in one shot. So I don't want to get
You're well on your way
yeah,
to marathon for sure.
I don't want to get injured also, because that's the worst case that can happen, when you're practicing too hard for something. But I'm just trying to keep myself, focused, entertained. I watch a lot of Netflix. I do my YouTube videos. I do everything I can.
Well, you talk about the YouTube video. You sent one to us here at USATT recently. I hope it's been posted, and I hope that everybody's had an opportunity to look at it. Some great shots. A couple things stand out on the video, Sharon. One of which, and is perhaps the most obvious, is your capacity to switch to the left hand on a ball that's headed to the backhand side and do it in a way that's really a quick pick slam right back. Every time you do it, it seems like the opponent is like, what just happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's unexpected, but when people ask me why do I do it, I give them a funny answer. I say sometimes I'm just too lazy to move the ball and reach it with my backhand, so I use my left hand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as you've seen my videos, I kind of enjoy myself. I go for crazy shots sometimes. Most times, to be honest, most of the crazy shots are not in 9, 9, 10, 10 points. Although there are some that are, but most of them are not. I just like to enjoy myself when I play. You know, this is what I do. This is what I like to do. I've never been forced to do it, and even the videos, it doesn't take me so much time. I love to watch myself play. You know, even if I lose, even if I win, it's been my life, and I like doing whatever I do. So I enjoy it.
We enjoy it as well. The other shot I wanted to make mention of is one that I think is more skillful than some people might give it credit for. Is that really soft drop shot that you hit the front of the table with just absolute just deft touch, which to me looks like it ought to be really simple, but it's at the right moment. It's not a very easy shot to hit.
Yeah, so there's a lot of story behind this drop shot. As all of us, especially golf, we do it a lot. When we were young, we were pretty short, so we got bullied by many adults, and people loved a lot to us during tournaments. So we just kind of cheated the system, and instead of just overpowering all the time, then we practiced actually to just drop shot and end it right there. So there's a lot of practice behind that. We don't practice it now as much, but we did when we were young, you know, to prevent a lot of bullying in matches.
Well, I love that shot. You know, you've mentioned it here, and I think it's worth mentioning is you've used the term fun a couple of times in the conversation. And if there's one thing watching your game that really does stand out to me, it is that it looks like you're having fun. And I mean, why else would you play a sport, you know, that is as demanding as this, other than to have fun at it? And it does appear that you, your brothers, your family really do, despite all the competitive elements involved, you do seem to glean that element of fun from it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I wouldn't have fun when I play, if I wouldn't have had so much fun, I wouldn't be as good as I am right now. I think definitely doing something that you like pushes the most out of you and makes you, you know, do your best performances. But also mentioning the family part is going to practices is where we have our family time. Going to tournaments, this is like our vacations. We all do what we love to do. We go to together a family. Are there, you know, normal, I would say American families go to Mexico, Cancun, you know, all those stuff. But for us, we go to tournaments international. That's our family time right there. So
Well, Sharon Alguetti, I want to thank you very much for taking time for this interview on our Pong Positive series. Positive is a word that I would use with you, with your entire family. Thank you very much. I want to wish you and the family all the best through these difficult times right now. I know we're going to get through it if we're stay as a team. And once again, Sharon Alguetti, thank you for your time.
yeah, thank you so much. My pleasure. And stay safe.
You too, man.
Thank you.